Hi there, my name is Drew DeMay. I'm the inventor of the WaterVac. I'm here to demo on how to set up the machine for the first-time operator. And this will simplify and give us a couple insights on proper operation to make your WaterVac experience the best it can be. Right now we're looking for the location. In every pond situation, you want the best location for the machine because you don't want to have to move the machine from place to place. Now I'm just going to bring the machine down to the proper location. We have our hose. As you can see, the machine is capable of going downstairs. Properly inflated tires. It's time to unpack our equipment. We have a 25-foot suction hose. We have a 50-foot blue discharge hose and a diffuser head. This unit here is what we're going to be setting inside the skimmer box for return of the water after it's being cleaned. We have a backwash filter rack, pinpoint attachment. We have a flat brush attachment for cement bottom ponds, and we have our most used attachment, which is our rectangle head. All right, now we're going to hook up our components that we need to hook up on the house. We're starting with power.
We'll plug our power into the household power source.
And we'll plug the other end into our plug attachment on the machine located on the back panel. And here we have an on-off switch. Turn it on and the green light will come on to indicate we have power. Now it's time to hook up our water source. The water source is to fill the tank for the first time of operation. The idea is to fill the tank with water one time, and the machine, because it uses water to create vacuum, continuously pulls the water in. Because we run such high vacuum on our machine, we're going to run anywhere from 10 to 15 inches of mercury during running time. The water source that we're using, or any public water source that you're using, will not overpower the vacuum head of the pump. So by leaving the auto tank fill on, you will actually draw air from the household and draw water faster from the household than you would from the pond itself. So it's creating an open circuit where we want a closed circuit system by keeping the valves shut. And now we're going to hook it up to household water. Now we're going to hook up our 50-foot discharge hose, 1.5 blue, with our diffuser head. Our diffuser head will be located inside the skimmer box on the far side of the pond. Now we'll cam lock with 1.5 cam locks to the discharge line, making sure that the discharge valve is open at this point. We want the discharge open at this point because when we turn the machine on, we want the water going back into the pond. If we had the valve shut or reduced, we create excessive pressure and less vacuum. Now we're going to take our diffuser head, an 1.5 discharge hose, and place it inside of our skimmer box. If you run into conditions where you do not have a discharge on the positive side or a skimmer box, you can place the filtration or your diffuser head either in your waterfall or your stream area. Or in a worst case scenario, you're discharging because the material is too heavy on the bottom of the pond, you can discharge it onto the ground itself. Right now in this condition, we're going to be recycling our water and reintroducing it back into the biological filter. So we'll use a diffuser head inside the skimmer box. Now we will be connecting our 1.5 suction line. This hose is 25 feet long with a 2-inch cam lock on one end and a 1.5 MPT thread on the other. Make sure you secure both ends of the cam lock, making an airtight fitting. We want no air infiltrating the WaterVac system. In every condition of a pond, where you start is primarily the key. We're going to actually start this pond near the waterfall and work our way towards the skimmer box. That will give us, if we have any turbidity in the water, that'll give us time to clean it towards the skimmer box before the turbidity actually affects our cleaning process. Now that we have our 1.5 suction hose, we have to determine how far into the water we're going to be starting. Now, the WaterVac comes with 2 4-foot long clear PVC ends with a male and a female end and PT PVC. And these simply just thread inside, male thread to female thread, and you connect on the amount of pieces that you may need to complete your project. And place the wand inside the pond temporarily until we get the system ready for running. Next step is going to be getting ready to fill the WaterVac with water, with the household water. First step, make sure all valves on the machine are in the closed position, okay? The 3 valves are located on the bottom of the tank. We have one between filters 1 and 2, and one at the very bottom of the pump. Now we can start filling our tank. To fill the tank, the WaterVac is equipped with a on-off tank fill valve. Okay. We're using the household water, we turn it on, and now we're going to start filling our tank. Inside the tank, we have a leaf strainer with 3 30-second holes inside the strainer, so anything larger than 3 30-seconds will stay inside this tank. Anything smaller will bypass through and go towards stage 1. Do not run this machine without the screen basket in at any time whatsoever. That will fault in, any stones and rocks will fall inside the pump impeller and completely plug it solid. So please do not forget to put this basket in. That's the first thing you want to check after every operation, is make sure your filter basket is in. This is the most important one. Right now we're going to fill it up, and when the water starts filling the hose, clear transfer hose, you'll see the water run down and into the 1.5 hose. Now the water, as you can see, is going into our 1.5 hose. Now this is the suction size of the hose. Before our first time starting the machine for the day, we actually want to fill this tank up and partially fill this hose. So now we can put the lid on and just set it in place. We do not need the clamps. The clamps are strictly for trucking the machine around from place to place to place. It's simply a convenience so the lid doesn't fall off. If you feel a lot more comfortable latching it, you're more than welcome to latch it. I run it with the machine unlatched, and now the tank is full, and you can see the hose is full of water also. So now we can shut the water fill off, and we're ready to go. Up above here we have a built-on backwashing system. So now if you have to clean your filters, which you will through the procedure of the machine, connected into the same household water, we have a hose wash down. And you just turn on the valve when you need water, it sprays the water out, you clean it, and you shut it back down. If for whatever condition you may need more water in the pond, you can put this into your pond and turn it on while the machine is running. Do not, once again, run this machine with the tank fill in the on position. Make sure it's in the off position. Okay, now we're going to be installing filtration. Our tank is full. It's ready and primed. Stage 1 filter, the steel basket. That's a approximately 1,000 microns. Now in filter number 1, we're going to be putting in this condition, we're going to be putting in a 300 micron filter bag. The filter bags are easy because now we can take and clean them out or just change them in the future. Filter bags just slide down inside the vessel. Make sure they bottom down to the bottom. And this one's ready for operation. In filter 2, we're going to install a 200 micron. And then this is another way that you can use your backwashing filter. Now you can just slide it in, push, flip it over, and use the tail side to push it down flat. Now that we have all our filtration in, all our valves are shut, our power is on, our water's on, we are ready to start the machine up. And one of the things that we incorporated with the WaterVac was a wireless remote system. This system was invented strictly because if we're over on the other side of the pond and we need to turn on and off the machine because we adjusted the hoses, maybe something got stuck in the end of the wand, whatever the case may be, wirelessly we can shut the machine down. Now with our wireless remote, we're ready to turn the system on. You see the water's being pulled in inside the upper part of the tank. A leaf sieve. You can see the water coming in. Right now we have not sucked any debris up, but this stage right here, once again, is 330 seconds. The water will be pulled into the pump through the bottom side, into filter 1, through into filter 2. Okay, now that we have it primed, ready to go, we'll start our vacuuming process. As you see, I have the rectangle head on upside down to where you ordinarily would use it. You can actually see the material being brought into it. The water's being drawn in at 3,000 gallons an hour. Unlike a conventional vacuum cleaner that uses air, we're using the water, and the water is just carrying the dirt right in. So as we're vacuuming, we're pulling up the sediment and debris. I'm not doing my back and forth motion. We're doing a slow, methodical cleaning. You can see this product right here is approximately a 300 micron sediment. And this is just string algae, fish waste that is settled down to the bottom. We're running this debris through a 600 micron first, and then in chamber number 3 or 2 of the biological filter, of the cartridge filter, I actually tried something different. I actually did a 300 micron and then a 200 underneath that. See if we can catch a little bit more fine material. So we are getting down to 200 micron right now at 3,000 gallons an hour. Okay, now I'm going to work my way back towards these rocks over here and get next to the edge. As you see, I'm methodically working my way across this water. So that we don't create too much turbidity. Turbidity is when you shake this back and forth and you get all that fish waste and debris that just lifts up off the ground as if a fish swam by it. We don't want that. We want to be able to capture all this instead of have it floating it back around to another part of the pond. We are using the water, hydrodynamics of water, to pull in debris. Instead of the air, as if you were vacuuming your carpet, which uses the air to pull in the sand, we're using water to pull in the debris. because the water's coming in so fast, everything that's in its way, it picks it up and moves it. Water is the strongest thing in the world. Because as I pull it over the stone, it loosens the debris, but at the same time will not bring the stone with it and suck it inside. You can see the debris right there just jumping right up and in. And this, by the way, is the key point. This is the part that makes a pond toxic, is what's underneath this gravel stone. As much as we can get out of this, the better. As I was saying earlier, ponds are not just, you don't just clean a pond one time a year. You have to do it just like this. I mean, you can't let sediment silt. We have string algae that went through a bloom and it's died off, and now it's just become a sediment. That sediment becomes toxic to the fish after a certain amount of time. Yeah, I'm going to shut it off because I'm at max PSI for cleaning. Now we can check our filters. Speed of the machine has slowed down. Knowing what was going on, we'll show you the pressures. And here is our 600 micron. .300 micron. And 200 micron. And you can see how fine that material really is. And that's the waste product of fish and plant life. Okay, now we have a 600 micron filter that we're going to backwash so we can reuse. A 600 micron and an 800 micron you can backwash multiple times. A 300 micron and 400 micron you can only do one time, because each time you do it the efficiency of the machine and the filter diminishes in half. And that's it. That's how fast it is. Here we got the 300 micron. We'll give that a quick rinse. Remember, this one we're only going to use one more time because its efficiency is going to be in half the speed. 1000 micron. Oh, we actually have a decent amount in the bottom.